you see a lot of these celebrities now, Post Malone, T Pain, everybody going over there and becoming this Twitch kind of personality. So, one, are you even good at the games that you play? Mm-hmm. And two, what kind of audience are you building over there? And do you have like a schedule?
Most games, I'm cheeks, bro. I'm ass.
Welcome back to another episode of Attractive Mindset. And today's guest, listen, he done made a presence physically, digitally, everything. I'm talking about personality-wise, jokes, seriousness, conversations, good personality. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself. We got T Pindell in the building.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all having me. Good to finally connect. Reached out to me like 6-7 months ago. Terrible communication on my end. Let's take accountability, guys. But we're here now, linked at a creator event. So that was dope. Worked out perfect. It's all God's timing. Been creating in the space for some time now on almost every platform. If it came out, I didn't create content on it. So it's been a good journey, man. I've been having a good run.
Now, facts. And so I know a little bit more about the content you create, but what do you actually create? What would you say your categories are in?
That's the biggest, I would say sometimes that's my biggest fault, but that's my greatest ability sometimes. I don't like to be boxed in. So I know for a fact, like if you create content, whatever type of content you create, if you just stick to like one genre and you pumping and dumping that out, you're going to grow faster. So if you have a channel and you review restaurants and you're like, hey guys, come with me today, woo-doo, like, you know what I mean? They're going to be upset when you just do a workout video. Thinking like, yo, we came here for the food content. So I don't box myself in. So to answer that question, I do sketch comedy. That's kind of where I started at. So with the skits, I do short films. I just dropped a web series called Buried, just premiered yesterday. I do all kinds of comedy stuff. I do gaming. I do fitness stuff. I do life and relationship advice, just giving guys some guidance. 10 things I wish I would have did different in my early 20s. Like, just different stuff like that. So it's wide range. It helps different people here and there. So but I'm not like just doing one or two specific things. I'm running and gunning.
Got you. So before I even go deeper into that, where you from originally? You from Miami?
No, I'm originally from Annapolis, Maryland.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, I'm from Maryland, man. Shout out to the DMV, everybody in Maryland, 410. And then came down here. My dad was living down here.
Okay.
So I came down here to live with my pops. And then I ended up going to college at Florida Atlantic, student athlete as well.
Okay.
And then that's how I rolled. I still go home like 3 or 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Baltimore for 2 Ravens games. Shout out to the Ravens. They take care of me because I create Raven content too. So I do football. I forgot about that. I do the football content too.
So you a Raven fan still?
Yeah, still a Ravens fan. So I go home, go to a couple games a year, get the crab cage, get my blue crab fix, chill with the fam, all my brothers and sisters. I'm still up there. I'm the oldest of 5. So still love, man. But I ain't moving back to the cold though.
I'm about to say, what was that culture shift for you going from Maryland to South Florida? Because South Florida is different. What was the culture shift for you?
All right. I don't want to offend anybody, but it was a big culture difference moving down here to South Florida for me for numerous reasons. The first reason is, going out partying, dancing, chilling, vibing. When I came down here, like y'all bop. So, you know what I'm saying? It was dudes holding hands, going like this and bopping on the ground with each other. It's women in the club at the party. It's women here. But they chose to hold hands and dance in circles. And I phoned home immediately. I said, Mom, it's different down here. The dudes is holding hands in the club and dancing together. And there's women here and they not dancing with the women. You know what I mean? Or the Uncle Luke vibe. Like guys was really like rocking and shaking and doing all this and woo-woo. I'm like, this is the first place I've been to where they had a hot body contest for the dudes. And the dudes was on stage rocking and had their hands on their knees. Like, you know what I mean? So this was a new place for me. In Baltimore, Annapolis, Baltimore, DC, we had go-go music. We had Baltimore club music. You know what I'm saying? So people was dancing. You know what I mean? It was on some battle tip. We was chilling. We was dancing. But it wasn't no holding hands and rocking and all that stuff. And then it's so much different stuff, man. Ankle socks. You know what I mean? Coming from Maryland, we ain't had no ankle socks. You know what I mean? It was cold. So when I used to go back home to visit, they used to be like, hey, where your socks at, fam? I'd be like, no, I got socks on. They just ankle socks. They down there. They in there. But Maryland heads, they was looking at me like, hey, wait, where your socks at? Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't got no socks on. So it was that. So it was a bunch of stuff. Even South Florida being a melting pot. Like, you know what I mean? It was much more interracial dating down here than it is up north. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I came down here. I tell you no lie. My dad will tell you my first day of school down here. You know what I mean? I went to my pops who already been living down here and who's remarried 20 plus years, 25 years of marriage, and his wife's Asian. My stepmom's Asian. So the first day of school, I went to my pops and said, yo, what's up with these black dudes out here? You know what I mean? They got their hands around the white girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on down here? And then he like, son, things are a bit different down here. Now, remind you, I went to a predominantly white high school too. I went to private school. So I went to American Heritage down in Plantation. So to find that black love, it was slim pickings. Like, it was like 4 or 5 black girls and everybody was after them. The whole football team was like, you know. So that's some of the things that was different from culturally, like just coming down here and living down here.
So now that you've been down here for a minute, now what's your thoughts on the whole bot category and even the interracialness?
I became, I guess I somewhat adapted to it, even from the high school stance. Like first girlfriend, like even to tap back into it, like it sucks, but like living in Maryland, it didn't suck. Like I didn't have knowledge of it. I didn't like I knew it was Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't know about like the Haitian culture. So that was different for me moving down here. But still moving down here, I still felt that we all look the same. We're black, like we're black, you know. But you know, Jamaican and Haitian be like, they would go back and forth, who's better, or people be like, man, shut up, you Haitian, and that would be like an insult, and I'd be like this, hey, what the hell wrong with y'all? Like, you know what I mean? Like the division was weird down here, but you know, I opened, you know, I started rocking the ankle socks. I did start openly dating, which is still, it was still different, you know, from the aspect of the parents. You know, that shit different from like, you know what I mean? You date interracial with the girls, Latin, white, ain't from anywhere. Like, you know, them parents looking at you like,
facts.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, all your mom looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or your siblings are looking at you like, went down there and got on them white women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, you know, because
it's just true.
you're gonna get, and even walking around in interracial relationships, like if I see like a black girl and she's with like a Hispanic guy or a white guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, good for you. That's what's up. You happy. But it's not the same for black guys. A lot of people won't admit it, but there'll be women that look at you and be upset and they don't even really want you. Like, if I was single, would you even want me? Why you worry about me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
facts.
It's just it's different like that. But it's open, man. And then times change, and especially with social media, do whatever makes you happy and be with who makes you happy. So the more power to you. So that's how I feel.
Facts. Yeah. Okay. And so what made you really get into sports? I mean, I know you tall as hell, but you play ball or football?
I play football. Basketball, I'm a catfish. So, like, you know, I go to pickup games and people pick me. They see my size. I'm 6'3", about 220. You know, they like, oh, I got him. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like that first round bust. Like, you know what I mean? That draft. Don't pick me on the looks because they pass it to me on the range. They be like, yo, shoot it. I'm like,
so why you go to the court?
Cardio. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it 100. So yeah, I go out there. I'm a catfish. I'm out there like I'm an effort guy. I'm out there like Rodman. I'm giving you maximum effort. Like, you know what I'm saying? You foul me, I'm not calling foul. But your foul coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, but that's just the football in me. I'm not saying ouch, you hit me. I'm going to hit your back. So we can be like this all game. So I'm not afraid of the physicality. But I've been playing sports since 6 or 7. I feel like my mom kind of looked at it as like a daycare service. Like, you're gonna be in something instead of just being outside hanging around the wrong crowd. So I did football, basketball, ran track, baseball. Like I was in everything. Gymnastics. If I had the opportunity to be in it, my mother stuck me in it and gave me the opportunity to do it. So, you know, that came like that. And I have a competitive spirit, and I love competing and just, you know, getting after it, even if I'm not good at something. Like, I knew I wasn't good in basketball. I'm like, okay, I gotta just be an effort guy. I got to get maximum effort on defense, rebounds, like every help out,
Facts.
like high energy, taking no. I don't know if you call them plays in basketball, but like no time off, just rolling. So that's how the sports kind of popped off, and I feel like that helped with so many aspects of my life. Like those that have played any sport at the collegiate or professional level, I feel like they got some kind of dog in them to even get there. So I kind of transferred that over to creating content. Like a lot of people didn't like that I was creating initially. Had what I'm saying, like you're in college, you went to college, you got a degree, follow your degree. I graduated with a criminal justice degree. So I was like, I could have did that, and I attempted to do that, and it didn't. I wanted to be a cop. Then I wanted to work with the DEA, like narcotics. I even thought about being a sniper at one point in time because I have great vision. But I was all over the place, and I have like people I went to school with that have pursued that and are doing it now. I got different friends with different agencies that like on SWAT, ICE, doing all that stuff and so they would be like, initially like, man, I thought you wanted to do this, like when they were rolling, and then when the social media kicked into gear, and they was like, man, I'm so glad you stuck with it, because I literally became my own boss. I literally have been working for myself and had nobody telling me where I need to be at, when I need to eat, when I'm allowed to go to the bathroom, micromanaging me. I don't have to ask for my vacation. Like I've been doing that for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's a blessing in itself. Sometimes you miss certain things. Like I miss holding conversations with adults. Work from home, you by yourself most of the time. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you creating with somebody else. But for the most part, you by yourself. So different stuff like that. But that's how it all popped off, and that's how being an athlete and playing sports kind of helped out and gave me that drive to keep going and keep pushing.
So it's not often that you really hear an athlete turn into content creator. So at what point did you feel like, yo, this is nice, I'm gonna do that? Because at the time that you did it, and even when we first met you, you was a content creator before the whole movement now. And so what triggered that for you?
I always been a class clown. But as you go through middle school, high school, once you hit college, there's really no class clowns in college because you're paying for your education. People don't want to laugh. They paying their money or going into debt to get this education. So that's the class clown was still in me as far as in the locker room, because I was on the football team. So we cutting up around the clock. All athletes, whether you're in high school, you get to play in college, there is a time where reality hits, and it's a sad moment. Like a lot of athletes don't talk about. You're whether you're on a team with 12 people, you're playing football. You're playing basketball or soccer, or you're on a team with 50 people, you're playing football. When you get up out of that and you become a senior, life is going to change. You just went from having 30, 40, 50 brothers, a brotherhood, a locker room, a camaraderie, and everybody's gone. Like the people who graduate, they're in the real world now. Trying to find your lives. The guys that are still there, their family is the team that they have there. There's no, oh, let's still hang out, let's still do this. They on a set schedule, and we all had that set schedule together where we were hurting each other, breaking bones together, bleeding, crying together. We did all of that together, So once you finish with a sport, it's a lot of times at any level you feel alone. Like, So I was like, what can I do? Like, I always been like a funny guy. Like, I always kind of been like the center of attention and creating audience, so how can I do that now? And so I jumped into the social media space. It was just uploading content. Most of the people were annoyed by it that I was friends with. They were like, yo, stop posting these stupid videos. But then when they picked up traction, it transferred over to like, yo, I know him. Yo, I went to school with him. Yo, that's my homeboy. Yo, that's my cousin. I call him right now. Like, as the numbers grow, that's when more people. So I always say this, but the strangers and people that don't know you personally end up supporting you before the actual people around you. Facts. And then it takes a flip. Then everybody like, yo, I got this idea. I'm trying to sell these shirts. I wanted to, you need to put such and such on. That's your cousin. Like, it comes in. So that's how it all popped off, and how I kind of got into the space of creating. And I always been like, I always had that kind of mindset, and I had it with my siblings coming up. Like, we used to do like music videos. So, we grew up on like watching people, like being from Maryland, like a Drew Hill, like all their music videos look like a movie. Like, So we used to like make little fake music off a recorder and do music videos, like banging on, like, like just do little stuff. Like we just did so much as kids. Our what's it called? Our imagination was out there. So that's how I popped up, man. It's always been like bottled up.
Got you. And so you feel like you got that from your family, or you're the only person in your family that was really like the jokester, the class clown, that type?
No, the whole family, the whole
Mm.
family. My grandparents, they're on it. Like, don't come in there. You cannot be soft
Mm.
around my family. You're getting picked on, you're getting rolled on, and it's gonna be by multiple people. Like, so a lot of people can't take a joke. I can take a joke. Like, what I mean? Sometimes, like, when my siblings are like rolling on me, they like cracking jokes. My mom is jumping in on it too. You just gotta sit back, you know what I mean, and go ahead and let the wave come in. You guys got this one. Everybody having a good time? That's fine, But just know, the comeback is coming back. So if you got thin skin, you're not gonna make it around my family. So all of that stuff really comes from my family, the playfulness, the goofiness, all of it. And it's rough too because there's not many guys out there with muscles that are funny.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at a Terry Crews, he kind of like a goofy funny, but ain't too many swole niggas funny, man.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you doing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? You swole and you trying to crack jokes, just relax. Like, so, and that's the truth of it. So that's like another hurdle I had to like jump over. You look at most comedians, most funny people, they look like regular folks, you know what I'm saying, like bodybuild wise, or they look like the everyday people, and that's why people can relate. People look at me and be like, how did you haven't struggled? You're fit, you're tall, you're brown skin, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't see any, how can he be funny? He couldn't so I get that too, so it's a good time though, man. I'm having fun, and this has always been me.
And so, in making the content that you used to make to just make people laugh, at what transitional point did you like, I gotta structure this? Did you ever make a structure to like, okay, I gotta post this many a week or whatever to start meeting financial thresholds, or what was that like?
First, financially, it was tough for me in the beginning because even when things started going well, a lot of these social sites only pay you once a month. So people complain about getting paid every other week. You know what I mean? People complain about getting paid weekly. You look at a bartender or a bottle girl, and they got cash in hand every night.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it took a discipline. I got one paycheck a month. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is what's happening, unless some brand deals or something kick in. But initially, that took some discipline in itself. But as far as structure, I feel like the structure was kind of laid out. Like initially, like everybody was just uploading like once a week. You know what I mean? So now it's more because the content is in shorter form. But back when people were creating content that had like a beginning, middle, and end, and would start out and just wasn't a quick punchline, one-line comedy, it took longer to shoot it, to edit it, to push it out, you know what I mean, to score it. All, and that means just put music behind it, like for those who don't know at home. So I was dropping like once a week. You know what I'm saying? I would drop some bloopers with it, something like that, and then that sufficed. That was enough. But people want some content every day now, man. It's crazy.
Facts. And so do you ever feel like there's a fear of what happens if a new platform comes out, or like how threads damn near happen overnight and you got to switch your audience over there? What's that like on that side?
I like keeping up with it, but sometimes it's a bit nerve-wracking because you never know what's going to stick and what's not going to stick. You mentioned threads. That was hot, and we haven't heard from it. Shit, we can mention when everybody was doing the paintings of themselves. Like, what was the crypto stuff? What was like, PF, something. What was it?
Behance AI or something like that.
They was doing whatever the picture joint where they was selling their pictures or selling neighborhoods, NFTs. NFT. That shit was everywhere. Now I haven't heard anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to be careful, and you got to be careful with your finances. Just because all the celebs and all the other people are jumping into it and throwing money doesn't mean you need to put your life savings in it. They got more life savings than you got life savings. So people get caught up into that. And then, I had a bunch of people, you need to make NFTs, you need to charge your subscribers, and that's how you going, man, this is going to be the new it thing. Crickets. So like, yeah, Vine was it, man. Vine was what TikTok is and could have been. But, communication on there, they weren't really reaching out to creators. Like, people say the same old stuff about Vine, but you live and you learn. You know what I mean? Now TikTok's taking off. I love it. It's pros and cons. Vine and TikTok is quick. It rolls. I enjoy it. I enjoy just watching. It's a rabbit hole. You open that damn Vine app. Now it's an hour later, and you be like, "Now I'm supposed to be asleep by now." Or it'd be like, "Hey, maybe you need a break from your phone. You ever been on Vine? TikTok, and they tell you you've been watching a little too
Yeah.
much. Go take a water break." I'm like, "Yo, shut your ass up. You gonna scroll?" But with that, I feel like it made people's attention span even shorter than what it was. I could take my phone and be like, "Yo, check out this video." If it's a TikTok, we talking 7 to 15 seconds. But I just came out with a web series. I can't be like, "Yo, check out this video," and it's 10 minutes. It's your phone. You need to access your text messages, who's your DMs. Like you can't just sit there and chill. You worry about if something gonna pop up. You know what I mean? Like, or alert coming down. So that's it. I ain't mad at it. I love it. And I like TikTok because it gives anybody could be great on there. Anybody could pop off. No other platform has done that where you can go viral without already having a following. And you don't see it on any other platform as much as you see it on TikTok.
So TikTok's your biggest platform right now?
No, I still think I'm on there, and I'm doing reels as well on Instagram. But it's just weird, man.
What about YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, and the shorts. I haven't had anything go viral on shorts yet, but I'm uploading there. It goes everywhere. But the internet's such a weird space. I can do a TikTok and it'll do 3,000 or 4,000 views. That same TikTok on Instagram will be sitting at 400K. So it's all about the algorithm. People all the time, they say, like, even my main channel, I have over 2 million subscribers I have built, but them subscribers have been compiled over a decade of time. So people outgrow your content. People have different walks of life. The algorithm may not recommend or suggest your content. I have no control over it. I just have control over creating content, so getting a lot of views is amazing. But you can't get distracted in it. We all started at zero. People like, "Oh man, I used to watch your channel. It sucks. Like the views aren't what they used to be. Like it sucks the channel fell off." Like if you rock with somebody and you watch their content, just watch their content. Like, enjoy their content. I would never in life go up to a LeBron or Michael Jordan and be like, "Man, you fell off, man." Like, bro, these are the GOATs. Like, I literally laid the foundation for a lot of this stuff. And with Trailblaze, when I was vlogging and I was creating content, people look at me like, "What is this weirdo doing filming in public?" Now it's the norm. This is what people are doing, and this is what people want to do. Like, people literally want to do what I've already done. I've been my own boss for this long period of time. Like, so you got to watch that. I still got people I watch or content I watch that doesn't have like a bunch of views or a bunch of this, but it's entertaining to me. It's pleasing to me. And we got to get past this person has 40,000 likes on their picture. Like, post your picture. Like, post your content. Put it out there. Like, just because something has a great amount of views doesn't mean it's a great piece of work.
Facts.
So that's been that on that. And but it's always amusing. I read almost all the comments. I reply to all the positive ones because I don't go back and forth with negative comments, because why would I engage with someone who's not giving me positive energy? And it kind of shows like somebody that's leaving positive energy could see that, be like, "Damn, I left some good stuff here," but instead he replied to the negative aspects of it. So somebody tell you that you fell off and they ain't never been on. You know what I'm saying? So and that's nuts. So in any fashion in life, nobody is peaked for like forever. Nobody's on. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen. So you can have good runs, and that's my thing right now. I'm just trying to create consistent content, build a strong base of people that support what I do and really enjoy my content. And that's it. You always gonna have a couple viral joints here and there, which I still do. People like, people be like, "Man, what happened to the views?" I'm like, "Yo, I just had this reel do a mill last week." Like, if you want views, like, here you go. It makes you feel better watching something that has a lot of, It's like, but it's still great content out there.
And so, how do you feel about like cancel culture, especially in today's age where people are a lot more sensitive, especially when it comes to like comedy, where even some of these great, legendary old school comedians got to watch their mouth even on tour, on stage or whatever, because we have certain demographics that get offended. Do you stop yourself from dropping certain things even if you want to?
I've never really hold on. I'm gonna have you to say the question again.
Okay.
But I'm gonna answer it. But I'm gonna have you run it back because I don't want to run this way and then be like, "What was the question again?" But so cancel culture. Most of the time you see cancel culture, like they're bullies. Like they're really most of the time trying to destroy someone's livelihood and destroy someone's character and get it so that nobody works for them again. And then they want to look at you and be like, ha 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 ha, see what we did? Look at you now. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Like in life at any levels. Like after someone makes a mistake, they can apologize. You can't just try to ruin their lives and shut them down because of that. We are counseling people over things that were okay to do 10, 15, 20 years ago. You look at the movies, whether you're looking at a movie like Coming to America.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or if you're looking at a movie in the 90s, a show like American Pie. Like when they were saying like vulgar language, you can't even, the F word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I ain't talking about F-U-C-K. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were saying that in the movies. This was normalized, you know, and people pick and choose. Nobody's going back and counseling those writers and those actors that did that. You know what I'm saying? So people pick and choose, like how they hit Kevin Hart a couple years back and didn't let him host. He already apologized for that. Y'all wanted to apologize every single time. Yeah. Like, you know, so there's no forgiveness and people, we want to be forgiven. Like I've done wrong. I've had to apologize. Like, you know what I mean? I would hate for me to do something wrong and thousands and 100,000 of people just to come down harsh on me for that. So that's how I feel about cancel culture. I feel like sometimes the culture in itself needs to be canceled because they coming across like bullies and they're coming across as mean and angry people. And it's one thing to be upset somebody did something, but also realize that you're not perfect. You know, we all make mistakes again. And as far as me, I've never really been a part of cancel culture or anything like that because people that watch my content gonna watch my content anyway. And the people that, even if I have done some edgy stuff, the people that try to counsel me or try to like start up the wave of cancellation were never a fan anyway. So you guys weren't even here. I created some content where two celebs kind of got into a scuffle, and it was a relationship. And I created content around that, and some people felt like, yo, I don't like the fact that you're making fun of domestic violence, and I got that, you know what I mean. But from my experience, I feel like domestic, which it should not be. I feel like domestic violence has always been okay if it's the woman beating the life out of a guy. I've seen people laugh at that. Like, oh my God, yeah, girl, you did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen like Lil Bow Wow upload a post of a girl scratching his face up and he got a mugshot and he scratched up and women find that comical. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's okay, or I know not all women, some women found that comical. So the skit was basically based around that. Like the woman had the upper hand and she like clocked me and I fell down and then it was like woo-de-woo. So some people didn't like that. And some people went on Twitter and, you know what I mean, they started tweeting and going out. And I had some celebs, but I had some people that I actually know go in and like come for me too. I'm like, yo, you could have texted to me. Like, you know me personally. Why you on Twitter with this? Like, you know what I mean? So it's cool. If I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't have dropped the content. You know what I mean? It wasn't really worth it. But the only wrong thing I really see that I did is I tagged both parties. Gotcha. So, you know what I mean? I could have just created that piece of content without that. And then that's back when I was verified on Twitter before they made you pay for it. So if you're verified, you get that whole verification alert as well. So, you know, it'd be like, oh, only from verified accounts. Yeah. I mean, I used to tweet Rihanna and she ain't never reply, but I knew my account was verified. So I knew like, hey, yo, you seen this, yo. Like, yo, you ain't replied, but you seen this is early on too. So before the ASAP. So yeah, that's how I feel about cancel culture. And if you just out here careless, reckless, repeat offender, I get it. But man, it kind of ruined the comedy. I like comedy. I like the raunchy stuff. I like the wild stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if I'm going to see a comedian and he's going in on like black folks and doing stereotypical stuff, like, all right, if he's funny, he's funny. Yeah. If you don't think he's funny, don't watch it. You know, it's like cyberbullying or online bullying. Turn your phone off. Put your phone down. It's like, you know, so you can walk away from it. Like, you know, so I guess I just come from a different era of tougher skin. And that's different. But the world's changing and it continues. People can say the same thing that were born in the 60s and 70s about the 90s. Like, true. You know what I'm saying? So it's evolving and changing. So if you want to work in this space and not be canceled and not be voided out, because people will distance themselves from you, you know, out of nowhere. Oh, me and you could be cool, right? But you did something to such and such, but now everybody mad at you. So I'm like, I kind of rock with such and such. Now you be like, you know what I'm saying? So politics, man.
So with that being said, how do you feel about two parts? Cancel culture vultures and content vultures. So what I mean by content vultures is
you trying to get me in trouble.
I'm trying to tiptoe,
All
but culture vultures in the sense of like let's say a specific white girl and a specific black guy, and they doing the same exact thing, but in like a couple months or so, and she's not even really that funny, she's getting certain people by taking his entire style.
Right. There always will be culture vultures. There always has been culture vultures. I will say this as well. Being a creator of color, being not even creator of color, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm a creator of color," and they try to be all buddy. We're all creator of colors, but we already know who's looked at as the least of the creator of color. Like, that's black people. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you got a room of creators of color, and it's 50 people, and five or 10 of them people are black creators of color, you already know who's getting looked down upon the most, and it's gonna be us. So I say all that to say, I've created a lot of content over the years, and I'm a firm believer, like, if you're a black content creator, you're gonna have to go above and beyond if you want to see those same numbers as a white creator. You know, and that's if you looking at YouTube right now and log on to the YouTube and you don't sign in, so it doesn't know like your algorithm or what you like. You look at that page, 80%, 90% of that is gonna be white individuals. You know what I mean? That's the population here in the US, is white individuals. So people like to watch content most of the time from people that looks like them. Like, you know what I mean? So if you want to pop, you're gonna have to go above and beyond. And it sucks, like but you're gonna have to be up here, and you're gonna be competing with someone who's really, or have the same numbers as somebody that's down here, like that don't have the ability, the talent, the charisma, none of that you have. But they still look at you and be like, hey, but be grateful. You know what I mean? You have this. You know, some people have nothing. That's what they'll tell you. And but in actuality, you're deserving of it all. And then I say that to say, I've created a lot of content, guys, and I always felt like, you know, the algorithm would just keep pushing, keep rolling, keep pushing, and just pushing my stuff out there to whoever wants to see it. But ultimately, what happened? There were creators that were lighter than me, or white creators that would do my same content like afterwards, after I did it already, and then they would get more views. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see like the first scene of mine and the first scene, and it'd be identical. Like even the mannerism, even like the way I carry myself. I'm like, yo, that's not even you. You don't even talk like that. And it would get more views. Like, you know what I mean? And that would happen like that. And then I would see these people at events, and they would act like they don't know who I am. That's nuts. I've had creators reach out to me, you know, on their come up, but in actuality, we're not in the same state. The age range was crazy. I'm not working nobody if you still in high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then they get to college and they pop. I see them at events. They're like, I don't know who I am. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying I'm a Jay-Z. I'm not saying I'm a Lil Wayne. But imagine you rapping and you're the baby, Lil Baby, 21 Savage. That's who you are. And you walk in the room and you see Lil Wayne. You know damn well that inspired you at some point in time.
Facts.
But you're not going to go say what's up to Lil Wayne. You too cool. That's what happens in these spaces. Everybody is too cool. You know, so that's the culture vulture aspect of it, you know, and we're in a society where big fish has always eaten little fish. So if you have a bigger following than me and you yank my content, you're going to get more views. I can have an uproar and be like, yo, you stole my content. You have a mega following, and they're still going to be like, yeah, he stole your content, but he did it better. Duh. Like if I look at a movie and I got the budget to do it better and do it bigger, it's going to be better than your movie. Like, but people don't care. People aren't content creators. They don't understand that. Like somebody steals your tweet and their tweet and it goes viral, but it's your tweet and they didn't tag you. Oh, what's the big deal? Be happy your face is out there. People are not gonna understand that. They don't create. It's not their passion. You know what I mean?
Is there no way to protect your intellectual property in that kind of realm?
On YouTube it is, but on like somebody could yank your video on TikTok, yank your video on Instagram, yank your video on Twitter, and it'd be nothing unless you know somebody that works at Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? I once upon a time I had like a Twitter person, I had an IG person. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yo, somebody yanking my content, somebody did this, my account's been hacked. I got somebody I can hit real quick on the back end. So pause. So they can fix that up and get that clip. A lot of people don't have that. You know, YouTube. I had some situations that different things happen. I knew I had a YouTube partner manager. I could text. You know what I'm saying? It was fixed. So a lot of people don't have that privilege. But man, content stealing is really a thing. Like I looked at a piece. I'm not gonna say that. I looked at a piece of content and I'm like, yo, this is funny. Let me just look it up on YouTube. I seen it on TikTok. I seen somebody do that exact same content 8 months before the viral content. So I'm like, damn, they stole this. This is not theirs. This is spot on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it happens and people just like are so what about it? That's not me. Like, and I don't want to create anything like that. And I don't want to be a part of creating content like that. And that's a big thing now. A lot of people just yanking content. And then even when people were stealing content on Vine, they would put inspired by such and such. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or tag the actual creator. Yeah. They're not doing that. Like, even when these young black girls doing these dances and then these other popping white creators yank that, they're not tagging them. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? As a creator and for you to flourish and gain revenue on money that's really supposed to be somebody else's or eyes that's really supposed to be on somebody else, it's nuts. So that's the culture vulture. It was a 2 part to that. What was the second part to that question?
You answered the second one in that. The content vultures.
Yeah. So it happens, and I'm not knocking anyone. Create what you want to create, do what you want to do. But I just came from a different era, and it might be the stubbornness in me, but you know, it was an era where people was creating content. It was people era everybody's dropping on Sunday. Hot Damn I Rock would drop. Spoken Reasons would drop. Dormtainment would drop. Jerry Levine would drop. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but they would drop every week. They was hitting World Star with it every week. Bang, bang, banging them out. So that's like content. These guys really pushed that and created content. And then now we just got fake pranks. Yeah. We got they even faking the public interviews. They're faking everything staged. And we know it's staged, but people will watch it because they put a big booty OnlyFans girl on it. True. Like good for y'all. That's cool. But I don't want to create content like that. Like, you know what I mean? And it gets the eye, but I'm just like, damn, that's not a challenge. You know what I mean? I like working. I like pushing it. I like improv. I like doing, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like. And I'm not, and if you're into that type of stuff, that's cool. But you know, that's why I fell in love with it from creating and pushing myself and challenging myself and going up against like other actors. Like, you know what I mean? Even with improv work, like that's a beautiful thing. Cause a lot of people think improv, you going back and forth, like I'm trying to beat you out. But no, in actuality, we supposed to be going back and forth and making it look smooth. So I'm supposed to be helping you out. We going back, we exchanging punches, but it's fluid and it's like consistent. And it's not like a hiccup like you stomped me. I don't want you to be stomped. I should be feeding you something that you can return, like just because we're acting. You know, so that's just the difference of it.
And so I like how you said acting with that, because even in some of your older work, when you would do like a parody version of, say, something like Friday or something like, you know, or that was original. Alexa, the Alexa one was definitely an original. So coming up with that, you know, what's your take on really getting into more movies and more TV kind of things?
First of all, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to 2K Life, Ricky McKinson. I want to give a shout out to Road to Hollywood. Everybody over there that helped make those projects take place. That wasn't on me. As far as the short films and these web series, it takes a village. Like, it takes more. It's hands-on. It's multiple camera people. It's a sound person. It's lighting. People need to eat. You need a place. Like, you know what I mean? It's set. Sometimes it's makeup. So people love when I do content like that, and I love doing content like that. But it takes more people. I started creating content by myself. Like I started on an iPhone that it did not have a flash on it. So I knew I had to film. I had no lights. I knew I had to film and get this thing knocked out before it got dark outside. And so with that, it's a blessing and a curse. I'm used to doing everything on my own. I'm used to creating, writing, putting it out there, like doing all that stuff I said earlier. So letting other people come in and do their thing and direct and produce is different for me. But every time I have done it, the outcome has been magical, so sometimes you do have to let people come in and assist and help you. So all those people help make those projects possible, so that's how all of that stuff takes place. I love doing it. I love being a part of it. I'm at a point in my life I want it to be equal. I want everybody to benefit. I have been a part of projects and did some things where looking back, I have been used. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being used, you know what I'm saying? Long as we're going back and forth, we're helping one another out. Like I want to be useful. Yeah. I don't want to just I don't want to work with you and you feel like, damn, like I ain't getting nothing out of this, or vice versa. And a lot of times I've realized I had a lot of people around me, or I was helping out a lot of people that probably wouldn't have did the same thing. You know what I mean? Or like let's look at like no, I don't want to say that. He going through a lot right now. I was gonna say Diddy. Let's look at the Tyler Perry. So you come to Tyler Perry and you be like, yo, Tyler Perry, you're gonna say, how can I help you? How can I be a part of this? What can I do to, what I'm saying, to get on? That's what you're gonna say to Tyler Perry. What I was doing, not saying I'm Tyler Perry, but I was the one that had like 1 million subscribers, and nobody had that around me. You know what I mean? In my eyes, if I was coming up and I was trying to create content and I had somebody that had a large following, I'd be like, yo, what you need help with? How can what can I do? What can I be in? That's what I would do. But me being me, I was the one helping other people content and doing other things before my stuff was getting handled or helped out or taken care of. So that's just the nature of how I was brought up and how I was raised. Always want people to feel comfortable. Always want people to feel loved. Even when we met at the not met, but we ran into each other at the event recently, and you was like, yo, I reached out to you. And I'm like, yo, when? And then I was like, boom. Life happens. Things happen quick, so I just want to also be a man of my word. All right, what you doing this week? What you doing Tuesday? Let's get this thing rocking. You know what I mean? Just to let you know, because I could leave a sour taste. Yeah, man, I reached out to him. His ass ain't even hit me back. Left me on red. You know what I mean? But you never know what's going on with somebody's life or what's going on. Facts. So, you know what I mean? Let's make it right. You know what I mean? Let's get it rocking. So that's how them shorts and the web series and everything came about. Like, it's literally like, other guys wrote that, and I just came in as like T. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Alexa off. I loved it. You know what I mean? It was great seeing myself like doing I think it was Miami Film Festival, like, or something like on the big screen. I'm like, damn, this is nice. Everybody clapping, everybody. It was cool when it all came together. But I love doing all that stuff, man. It's fun. Like I've been in drama. I've been acting since I was in like the 4th grade, man. In my 5th grade, I was Mowgli in the Jungle Book, performing that in front of the whole school. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like. But when middle school and high school came, you kind of have to choose. You can't be like a beast in drama and a beast on the field and a beast in running track. You know what I mean? Because I was a state finalist in hurdling. So you just can't do everything, But that's always been like in my heart and something I wanted to do.
Got you. So in the world of AI, how does this affect your industry right now?
As far as what aspect of like them potentially creating and doing everything with all this, or like remimicking.
You have things happening like rappers getting their voices made on different tracks and everything by AI. But in your realm, somebody might go to a chat GPT, come up with 10 new funny scripts, quote unquote, or whatever, or whatever it is. Or how does AI affect you? Are you for AI? Do you use AI?
I'm for it. I feel like it could get out of control. Shoot, if you out there and you're a script writer, a screenwriter, you got something, you got a short film, run it by me, man. We get this thing rolling. I'm all for creating content. I don't give a damn if the AI created it or not. So you could say written by such and such and assist by the AI, but I'm with it. As long as you ain't stealing nobody's stuff. But I use AI. That's how I actually chop up my podcast clips. That's how I put the words on there. That's how I do everything. And snip it up. I feel like it's dope. It's cool. Shoot, I've listened to like 4 or 5. I even threw them on a playlist. 4 or 5 AI Drake songs. I'm like, yo, this AI Drake slap. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you. I like it. Like, so potentially could that be like hindering to artists and creatives? Of course. So eventually they'll get a hold on it. If it gets out of hand, they'll reel it back in and they'll get a hold on it and put some licensing on it in some kind of way.
And so now we talked a lot about the comedy, but you have a whole fitness side of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that fitness side, how does that balance work out in having to be or being a content kind of creator,
Yeah.
but also staying that discipline that takes for fitness?
I'm very disciplined. At this point in my life, I'm the most disciplined person I know. Like as far as being in control of my body. Like over a decade ago, I gave up fast food. You know what I'm saying? I have always ate what I wanted to eat, but I always worked out hard. I felt like my body wasn't reacting like it normally react, so I gave it up. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC, Popeyes. I used to tear that Popeyes up. Every time I go get a haircut, Popeyes right there. I know I'm waiting an hour, so anyway, I'm gonna go get this 3-piece and get these seasoned fries and this biscuit and put some jelly on it. That's what I was doing. But I gave it up. And then after I gave it up, I'm like, damn, I don't need it no more. Or even like the sight of it, I look at it, I'm like, it makes me feel a little way. Had an issue at the dentist. Gave up candy. 6 months wrong. And I was a gummy bear, Sour Patch Kid, Twizzler eating that, Gushers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to get live stream on the game and I can eat a whole box, 10 packs of Gushers in a live stream. Maybe like donating, here's more Gusher money. Like, so they're putting in on the habit. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm getting donations for Gushers. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just discipline, man. I love working out. I love being fit. I love pushing myself. I am really the master of my fate and the like, I'm in control. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are like, yo, I'm the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul. People be like, what do you do? What's your workout? What do you do? Man, you know how many times I've written up some workouts and sent it to people? I got it in a copy. I got to copy and paste it in my notes now. Just so I don't got to waste no time. Here you go. Do as you want, but you're not going to, a lot of people don't got that dog in them. Like I'm in there 5-6 times a week. I'm I don't have cheat meals. I still eat what I want here and there. Like it's football season, so I'm on the wings. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grinding, man. Like mixing in the cardio and still doing it, and I enjoy doing it. It's second nature. It's a normal part of. I don't feel like I had a great day if I don't get a workout in. Sometimes I gotta slow down. I might have like a little injuries, little voodoo, something going on. I gotta tell myself, all right, relax today. Do yoga today. So it's not just going there pushing around a lot of weights. I'm working out, I'm doing cardio, I'm doing yoga, I meditate, I enjoy taking baths. But I done bought more bath bombs than anybody I know. Like, you know what I mean? And some people, I'm big on self-care. Like I got a dermatologist, I got an esthetician, I got an SD bestie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting facials, pause. I'm taking care of myself. Like I said, I was on that quick. I'm like,
yeah, you knew that one was coming, pause.
Yeah. So, but I do all of that, man. And self-care is really important. You only got one body, one soul. Like if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't expect nobody else to. So I'm doing all of that kind of stuff, man. Laser hair removal. Like people are like, does it hurt? Yeah. So what? I broken bones. I mean, we didn't be tattooed. We've been hurt before. It's short pain for like a longer. I'd rather them to zap my neck up for 2-3 minutes than to me look at my face every time I'm on camera and be like, I don't like how my skin looks. It is what it is.
And so do you feel like you've become that kind of way also because you create a lot of content?
I have, but it's a blessing and a curse. I'm too disciplined. I gave up candy just to give up candy, right? But am I done with it for life? Like, you know what I mean? Like man, I was walking past the candy drawer in the house, opening the candy drawer up and looking at it and being like, I'm in control, bitch. Looking at the candy. Yeah, y'all been sitting here a long time collecting dust. And then close the drawer. You know what I mean? Go by my day. But it has to be a point in time where like, okay, you can, it's almost like Lent. People give up something for like a certain period of time and then like, boom. So I need to, with myself, give myself grace. You know what I mean? Give myself a pat on the back, a little treat here and there. Because I just go and do. So that's what it is.
Now you mentioned something, the Twitch audience.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't even know that's a whole different kind of audience.
Yeah.
That realm, the gaming realm, first off, the gaming community makes more money than the music and the movie industry combined.
Yeah.
That's an actual fact. You know, that was my first business, and my first six figures was the gaming community, and so I already understand that. So you see a lot of these celebrities now, Post Malone, T Pain, you know, everybody going over there and becoming this Twitch kind of personality. So, one, are you even good at the games that you play? And two, what kind of audience are you building over there? And do you have like a schedule?
Most games, I'm cheeks, bro. I'm ass. In most games, the personality and the way I talk is normally what people kind of show up and view for. But at the same time, even though I'm sorry, I'm trying to get better. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking up, like, let me YouTube how they did. I'm trying to get better. That's just
what
like
games you play.
Right now I'm on Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I still play a throwback game like a Friday the 13th. I still get on the sports games like a Madden. Try to get in 2K, but it's been repetitive and redundant.
Dead by Daylight?
For me. I haven't. I tried that 1 or 2 times, but that's like the same thing as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. But a lot of people still play that game because it's updated, like, and it's rolling. Friday the 13th is kind of dead, and they had some lawsuit issues, so it died out. But you're absolutely right about Twitch. Twitch is like the biggest gaming spot and biggest gaming hub for live streaming and streaming in general. And they kind of the gaming community was so huge on there, but now even you don't even have the game. You can just be on there talking.
They're
you
just chatting.
Yeah, they're just chatting and chopping it up. And it's really a community in itself. And just like you mentioned, some of these celebs that are like a Post, like a T Pain, that's happened across the board. People always used to be like, they see these short films, they see me doing stuff. When you want to be in movies, don't you want to be on TV? Don't you want to see yourself in the big screen? And, you know, a part of me, I'm like, yeah, maybe I do want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? If the opportunity came, of course, you know what I mean? But some people are like, you need to drop everything. You need to go and do it. And I had to, after living other people's dreams, other people's lives, like, not saying I wouldn't love to be in a movie or on a TV. Like, that's awesome. I feel like in the Black community, people really like, you made it once you on the big screen. But unless you're the top 2 or 3 people on that cast, when that cast come up, you're not really making them like that. You know, you're not making crazy money. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what their next job is. You know what I mean? You're not even living check to check. You're just trying to get to the next check.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Creating content the way I did, I was able to be the owner of everything. I was able to put out content when I wanted to put out content. A lot of times, if you're in a movie, you don't have no say when that movie coming out. You don't know. Y'all gonna know before me because the damn commercial and the trailer gonna drop. So. Facts. I have complete control and over everything, and I owned everything. So that was also the blessing. And now you're looking at all of these actors and celebs, they're coming over to that space too.
Facts.
Like, they're jumping on social media, jumping, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening. And they understand that as well. So now it was, hey, don't you want to be in movies? And now the people that's in the movies, now they on the internet. Now they doing reels and doing YouTube and doing all of this. Like, you know, they're trying to incorporate that into their bag and to their resume as well. So it all comes full circle, man. It all comes full circle.
And so while still being in that community, how do you feel about like top Black emerging, you know, comedians is what they would call them in that gaming community? And I don't really think they're comedians. They just do comedic type of shit.
Yeah.
Which is like Kai Cenat, Speed, all of them.
Right. It's cool though, because like when I first started creating content, I used to put the title comedian because there really wasn't nothing else. Content creator wasn't out. Digital creator wasn't out. AUD creator, whatever. All these new names, they make every new name every week, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a thing. Like people used to be like, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm like, shit. YouTube. What do you mean you do YouTube? You work for YouTube? Nah, I kind of throw the videos up there. Why you get paid? Google. So you work for Google? Nah. See, like people didn't understand it. And it was like, I didn't like talking about it because it was such like a long story. And then people are fascinated and people start thinking, man, well, maybe I need to start doing some of those YouTubes. I'm like, nah, like maybe I can hit you up. I'm like, all of that was happening. So I feel like it could just be different comedians at different levels. Like, I feel like coming up, our comedians was, you had to do stand up. Yeah. You had to do stand up. And when this internet shit popped, a lot of them stand-up, old school OG comedians, they look down. They didn't like that. They didn't like the instant gratification, that instant money. Like, some still don't like that. I had to work in the improv in my city for 7 years. I did 8 years in there, and I made it out. Like, it's a new day, man. It's okay. It doesn't happen like that anymore. Like, that's like an old school player getting made and how much money these young players are getting paid now. Like, they like, well, they sitting off games. They got load management. They ain't doing what. it's a new day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't sit and be upset, and you shouldn't be upset and mad at it. Like, you know what I mean? As long as the new guys or guys not disrespecting what these guys really laid the foundation for. They really paved the way to make it. So anybody getting their money, I'm happy for their ass, man. I'm happy for them. Keep pushing. Spend wisely. Take care of the people that took care of you. Just know with money comes a lot of new people and not a new face around. A lot of new people that want to be down and want to be cool. So, you know, enjoy the ride, man. It's life.
And so how do you deal with that when not only new people want to come on, but old people, you know, old friend circles and everything expect things from you on a certain type of level?
I don't know. It's like I said earlier, man. I don't want to feel used. I want to be useful, and I want both parties to feel like they're getting something out of it. A lot of people gonna come around you with ulterior motives. It sucks, but it's life. You never know what someone's seeing. You never know what someone wants from you until it's all said and done. Sometimes it's just actual genuine people around you, but you got a couple bad apples that messed it up for the genuine people. So now you still walking around with your head on a swivel, like not sure, you know. So that's how I handle it. Like, it's just a case by case and person by person basis, and you gotta hope for the best. But hope this person has a kind heart, because your feelings will get hurt and you will get upset. If you thinking the people still gonna have the same morals and carry themselves the way you carry yourself. Like, sometimes you think like, man, I would never do that to somebody, so I know none of my dogs gonna do that to me. It don't be like that all the time. It's not, you know. And
so I used to get yelled at a lot too for that with the idea from women now. And so in a lot of my past relationships, I used to say, and it's just me being honest, I'm an ideal situation for you because I'm young, I ain't got no kids, I'm making money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure you having that actual, you know, online presence, you go to the gym, nigga look like a chiseled Greek statue, you know what I'm saying? You tall as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, when women approach you, how do you know that genuineness is there? Or do you feel like a lot of them try to get in the door to be, you know, taken care of? Or how you navigate that realm?
Man, I feel like social media ruins so much. Like, people say this all the time. Like, you know, if no social media was there, like whoever you went to high school with and whoever's in your city, that's what you would have. You know, now you have the potential to jump on a dating app, and I'm going to be in New York in 3 weeks for like a week. I could jump on that and put that as my location and shop around before I get there. I can have something hot and ready as soon as I touch down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on too. But even how you stated that, it's a bad side to it as well. Like, it's a you reach out to somebody, y'all holding a conversation. It's a Facebook page where these women and these men, they got it for men too. You could be like, put that on there. Oh, for South Florida, what do y'all know about this guy? And they could roll. Oh, girl, he used to talk to such and such. Oh, girl, he did this. Oh, he got this going on. And then roll. So now you're going to meet somebody, but they already know you. So you're fake meeting them for the first time. You know, or they could just throw your joint in a group chat. And people like, oh, well, and then, you know what I mean? And now you already got this, instead of getting to know me, that might have been the past me. That might have been the old me. You're not even getting to know me for real, because you already coming in judging like that. And then as far as just the social media aspect and of women seeing me out and different things like that, it's funny, you know, because, you know, you'll see people under your pictures or liking your pictures, and then you might see them in person, but they still gotta be like calm. I can't approach you or they get home and be like, hey, I think I saw you. You know, you saw me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get that, which is funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't speak. People are like, they'd rather go talk to you online. It's safe.
Facts.
You know, I didn't know how you were. I didn't know if you were just gonna ignore me or look at me like, who's this girl coming up to me like that. So that's how I look at it, and it's no biggie, man. With the social media thing and creating content, especially the type of content I create, a lot of these guys that create content and are working with women, they muck it. A lot of times they muck it up because they wouldn't really normally be around this caliber of women if they wasn't creating content or if they had the following. So they don't know how to act. There's been so many women I work with, and then they go work with other people, and they be like, they appreciate me so much more. They be like, yo, I worked with him. He was a creep. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, oh, you just gonna leave, or you're not gonna hang out, or you want to drink, or like, you know what I mean? Elongated hugs, like, oh, you walking into you, like, you know what I mean? Like, guys, it's weird. So now it's like I don't know if I want to go shoot with this stranger. Can I bring a friend if I can feel comfortable? You know what I mean? Because guys just doing stuff they, you know what I mean? They not really wouldn't normally be around this caliber of woman. You wouldn't be around these girls.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? But for me, I've been around the girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like before creating content.
Like
you know what I mean? So even and that's attractive to women sometimes. They're like, well, you don't seem thirsty, you don't seem this. Like, you look good. I look good too. Let's knock this workout. Like, you know what I mean? And then, but it's still sometimes after creating content, like in the past, we create content. I create content with this girl, and she's like, "Oh, what are you about to do?" I'm about to edit what we just shot. And I'm like, "Oh, I would love to watch you work." I was like, "Oh no, you got to go home. Like, it's time to wrap this up. Like, this is when I really need to sit and focus and do this. Like, they don't realize that. So, you know, shit. Nah, the list goes on, man. And some girls, I'm pretty sure, like everybody, like one girl I did on my podcast, Real Talk Pill Talk podcast. Make sure y'all check that out too. I got a podcast. I did a podcast and the girl was basically that she said everybody plays a villain in somebody's life. I know I've been a villain. I know I have hurt some feelings. I have apologized for some things. Some people may feel like I still haven't apologized and they never got no closure. I'm sorry. If I hurt your feeling, I apologize. I know I played the villain. But women to take that villain and roll. You can hurt their feelings in high school. And now you meet somebody, oh, you was talking about hunger. And now people won't deal with you because you hurt such and such feelings. I'm like, yo, it's always three sides to every story. But you know what I'm saying? So you know how it is, man. Like, oh no, if I don't rock with him, I don't want you to work with him. Like, so that happens to me sometimes. I reach out to people like, yo, come jump on the pod. Hey, you want to do some skits? Oh yeah, I would love to. Give me a second. Boom. Before I know, I'm blocked. I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So you look at the mutual friends. I'm like, oh, the mutual friend. Like, I see why. Like, you mean she took the profile and put it in the group chat real quick. Damn. You know, and then boom. So it is what it is. You know. So
would you consider yourself toxic?
Me?
Yeah.
I heard you the first time. Of course. I feel like we all have a little bit of toxicity in us. But I feel like it matters what's around. Like as far as creating content, as far as being a friend, as far as not at all. We all got different things we could work on in friendships, in relationships. So I don't know. I don't know. I really wouldn't call myself toxic, but I feel like I potentially could do some toxic things. Really, it really matters what I got going on, what I'm watching on TV. Like I remember I was watching like the like Ozark or like the Pablo story, you know what I'm saying, or Breaking Bad. You know, those type of shows I gotta kind of snap out of it. Cause I like somebody say something to me and I'll be like, you know, I'm in the middle watching Pablo Escobar. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says something to me, I'll be like, hey, why do you feel comfortable talking to me like that? And then, you know what I'm saying? At that point, I mean that shit. But then I look back, I'm like, yo, I might have been tripping right then. But you know what I'm saying? Just watching certain stuff and being around certain people or the drinks, you know what I'm saying? I might just be like, hey, like, don't ask me nothing like that. Like, you know, so that's how it gets sometimes. And I've had those conversations in relationships and friendships, like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is.
So being in both realms, you know, we kind of have this golden period where we grew up around a lot of the old school stuff, but now we also introduced to a lot of the new school stuff, and we not old enough to the point where it's like, oh, look at what these people do and everything like that. What would be 3 key pieces of advice you would give people just getting into the game?
3 things. Really try some things out first. You know what I mean? See what you enjoy. You know, because you might think you're going to start doing something, and then that something opens like you up to another route, and you might enjoy that more. So figure out what you want to do first, and make sure whatever you are doing and want to do, make sure it doesn't feel like work. And you should be having a good time. You know, everything's it can get stressful at times, but it should still be something you enjoy doing. Secondly, you're gonna have to be consistent. I probably know 2 or 3 creators that have had longevity but have been inconsistent. They just have like a cult following. I know like 2 or 3 out of millions. You know, so don't think you're gonna be able to do that and just pop back up and people just gonna be waiting on your beck and call, because the world keeps on turning. It's next man up. You know, so do something that you love. Be consistent. And my third thing, like I mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to have a little team. Even if it's not like a bunch of people helping you out working with you, even if you're just around like-minded individuals, it's cool to be around a good set group. Don't have that group looking crazy, 6, 7, 8, 9. It don't need to be that. There's a good 2, 3, 4 people is more than enough. Bouncing ideas, chopping it up. Now y'all out, even if you off and y'all out vibing, brunching, a bar, whatever, y'all still bouncing off ideas and still chopping it up. So those 3 pieces of advice I would have.
Okay, well, shit. T, it's been amazing
to
have you
I
on
talked
the
a lot,
show, dog. I learned a lot. Learned a whole new side that you're not gonna see on social media.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be able to get this deep, see the character, see the decisions that you made, the conflictions, the apologies, everything. Having that, you have a podcast yourself. What's the podcast name again?
It's called the Real Talk Pill Talk Podcast. Real Talk Pill Talk Podcast.
And what do you talk about on there?
We talk about life, relationships, we just everything. It's kind of like a barbershop / like for women a hair salon feel, and we just going back and forth. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you bring up podcasts and men with podcasts, women are like, oh gosh, it's probably another woman bashing podcast. But I'm like, nah, it's not like that. So I shoot them over some clips and be like, yo, come through. Come vibe. We just chopping it up and having a good time. Even if we don't agree or we can disagree, we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody got different walks of life and different things going on. So that's it, man. We just chopping it up and having a good time. I think my latest episode, we talked about Black Friday, Thanksgiving, hit a couple hot topics. And then we roll from there. We're talking about all kinds. Man, I mentioned my Chick-fil-A order. What you get from Chick-fil-A? And I don't want people to give me a hard time because y'all be like, he said he gave up fast food. Chick-fil-A is not fast food, fam. That's the only spot I'm hitting that got to drive through is Chick-fil-A. Please stop it. What's your Chick-fil-A order?
The grill.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the number 2 or whatever.
Get a number 2. What kind of cheese you put on there?
American
cheese?
Yeah, American.
Okay. What kind of drink?
I usually like to mix like the Sprite and the fruit punch.
Okay, you still the adolescent shit, right? A Sprite and a fruit punch, a little
Facts.
ratchet still. A Sprite and a fruit punch. You trying to get a Shirley Temple with it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I see what you got going on. All right, yeah, man. So we just be talking about this random stuff and having a good time and kicking it.
Okay, so if people didn't know where to follow you at,
T Pindell on everything, guys. T Pin as in a pinball and Dell as a Dell computer. TPINDELL. And that all stemmed from like creating a college email, first letter, your first name, and then your last name. So my first name's Troy. So that's where the T Pindell popped off from. And man, hit me up, man. Slide over, whatever you're into. I'm pretty sure I got something that'll keep you entertained, whether it's the skits, whether it's the short films, whether it's the gaming, whether it's the fitness. It'll be there.
And then your web series that you just came out with.
That's on the main channel. YouTube.com/tpindell3. It's a thriller. It's a little bit of a thriller, a little suspenseful. I play a character that kind of just trying to leave some things in the past. And I'm trying to start a new life, but at the same time hiding my old life. And some of that stuff is coming up and it's starting to haunt me. And I'm still trying to keep it bottled up. But, all truth coming to the light. So it's dope. So episode 1 dropped Monday, 6 episodes. So we're going to drop every Monday all the way up into Christmas. To finish the year strong.
So by the time this come out, make sure y'all tune into the whole web series.
Right. Buried web series, man. Check it out.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming on Attractive Mindset, man. It's your host, Moneybag Rich, and another episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And as we always say, we look good, we live good. Life is good. Talk to us, we talk back. We out of here.
Blessings.